भेजा ना. चलो, starting with registers. Register for every member, shareholder, debenture holder, every kind of security holder. You need to have a different kind of register. There are different forms. What are the details you will mention in the register? You will mention the name, address, email ID, PAN, occupation, number of shares held, price at which shares are purchased, all the details about the shareholder in the particular register. Now, if there are any changes due to transfer, transmission, mortgage, hypothecation, anything where there is a change in the register, then that has to be recorded in the register of members, and it has to be recorded and it has to be intimated. The change has to be intimated to ROC within a period of 30 days. If I have more than 50 members, I will need a index which has to be again changed every time there is a change in the register of members. It has to be preserved for a period of lifetime, permanently. Only debenture holders, preference shareholders, ये लोग का 8 years तक रख सकते हैं, or till the time the shares are being redeemed. Okay, like the debenture holders and debentures and preference shares are being redeemed. Okay, now this has to be everything has to be intimated to the ROC whenever there is a transfer, transmission. Then I will first go to the board of directors or the committee. I will ask them within 7 days of their approval. I have to maintain the record in the register. It has to be kept in the registered office of the company or any other place in the same city, town or village by way of special resolution, or in any other place in India where 1/10 of the total number of members reside. Then coming to foreign register. Foreign register is what? It is for the shareholders who are outside of India. So I can maintain the register in India or I can maintain it outside India. If I am maintaining it outside India, I have to intimate to ROC within 30 days as to the place where I am maintaining it and giving the details about the register. It is a part of your principal register, which is the register in India. It has to be in the same format in which you have the principal register. Any changes in the foreign register has to be intimated to the company within 15 days, and then within 30 days to the ROC. Within 15 days I have to make the changes here. Every entry that I pass in the foreign register has to be authorized by the board of directors or any officer who has been authorized in this behalf. And any other point we've missed? Closing of the register, if I do, then it will go to any other foreign register or it will come to the principal register. Then coming to everything about the foreign register similar to the normal register under 88, it has to be intimated to ROC within 30 days. Now coming to beneficial interest. If some person is holding beneficial interest in shares, beneficial interest is what? That someone else is holding on my behalf, but I am the beneficial owner of the shares. So if I am the beneficial owner of the shares, then I have a beneficial interest in the shares and I have to intimate it to the company, and I have to give a declaration whether or not I am the beneficial, I have beneficial interest in shares or not. And once I have intimated to the company, then he will in turn intimate it to the ROC within a period of 30 days. This provision is not applicable to mutual funds and venture capital funds which are registered under SEBI. Then coming to SBO, significant beneficial owner. Section 90 says that SBO is a person who is holding more than 25% of the shares in the company. But the company amendment rule says that if you are holding more than 10% of shares in the company, 10% of voting powers, or more than 10% of the distributable dividend, or if you are exercising significant influence or control, then you are a SBO. Now, if the company is formed, I am holding more than 10%, I know at the beginning that I am holding 10%, then within 90 days from formation of the company, I will give a declaration saying that I am a SBO, and the company will intimate to the ROC within a period of 30 days. Now, at the time of formation, I am not a SBO. Later on, I acquire more shares and now I become a SBO. The day I become SBO, the day I hold more than 10% shares, I will intimate to the company within a period of 30 days from the date I become the 10% or more holder, and then the company will intimate to ROC within a period of 30 days. This is where I am suo moto going and saying. But if the shareholder is not coming and telling you that he is a SBO, but I suspect that he is a SBO, then I will send him a form in Ben 4 and I will tell him, I give you 30 days, please give me the details. If he gives me the details, I will collect the data, submit it with ROC. If he does not give me the details or he gives details which are not satisfactory, then I will go to the tribunal, I will tell the tribunal about the issue, tribunal will call both the parties for hearing, within 60 days he will pass the order. If I am aggrieved, I am not happy with the order, then within 1 year from the date of order, I can raise a concern and tell him to reverse the order. समझ में आया? This is pertaining to SBO. Now coming to closing of the register of members, non applicability इसमें भी है, SEBI registered है, RBI registered है, these entities it's not applicable. Then coming to closing of the register of members, the register of members can be closed for maintenance by giving a 7 days notice to the members. Now if I am a listed company, I will publish it in newspaper, one English, one vernacular newspaper, and at a time I can close the register for a total period of 30 days, but for the entire year I cannot close it for more than 45 days. So 45 days I can close it, but not more than 45 days in a year, and 30 days at a time, correct? Then coming to the next part, what did we study? Meetings. Meetings, there are two kinds of general meetings, one is AGM, one is EGM. AGM is annual general meeting, which means that the shareholders are meeting once in a year, annually, that is why annual general meeting. EGM is extraordinary general meeting. If I want to discuss something with the shareholders, I don't want to wait till the AGM, then I can have a EGM. AGM has to be mandatorily held by the company. If it's a new company, within 9 months from the end of financial year, ROC will not grant any extension. But if I am doing subsequent AGM, within 6 months from the end of financial year, ROC will grant 3 months of extension for special reason, and the time gap between this AGM and my previous AGM cannot exceed 15 months. So I will hold the AGM, I will file the necessary report with the ROC in form MGT 15 within 30 days, giving details about what has been discussed at the AGM. But AGM is something which I have to hold. If I don't call for an AGM, then the tribunal can call for an AGM, and that case, even if one person attends it, it will be said that the AGM has been validly held. Okay. Now coming to EGM, extraordinary general meeting, where I don't want to wait till the end of the year to discuss something with the shareholders, then I can call an EGM. Company can call an EGM, or the members can say that I want to meet the other shareholders, I want to call EGM. In this case, members are holding 1/10 of the share capital or 1/10 of the voting power. They can come and they can say I want to hold the EGM, and in that case the company has to hold the EGM within a period of not less than 21 days from the date of receipt of notice, but not later than 45 days. If I don't do it within a period of 45 days as a company, then the members can, within 3 months from the date they have submitted the request, hold the EGM. In that case, the company will have to give all the necessary data to the shareholders. They will hold the meeting. Whatever cost they will incur will be borne by the company. Okay? Now coming to annual return. Annual return is what? It is the most important return to be filed by the company at the end of every year. It is to be approved by the company, by the shareholders in the AGM. What are the details that are there in the AGM, in the annual report? Registered office where the business is being carried on, equity shareholders, preference shareholders, debenture holders details, what are the changes in the details, then the loan or debt taken by the company, then who are the directors, key managerial person, promoters, what is the remuneration that is being given to them, if there is any penalty levied, what are the kind of penalty, how much amount have you paid, if you have foreign institutional investors, where are they based, how much shares are they holding, country of origin, all the other details. Then if you have board meetings or class meetings, then what kind of meetings were held, what resolution were passed, who are the members who attended the meeting, and the last is matters relating to certification of compliance disclosure. So all these things will form part of my annual return. Annual return has to be filed within 60 days from the date I hold the AGM. If I don't hold the AGM within 60 days from the date the AGM should have been held, I will have to file the report. It has to be signed by board of director and company secretary. If it's a OPC and there is no company secretary, then the board of director can sign it. If I am a listed company with a share capital of more than 10 crores or turnover of more than 50 crores, then in that case I will have to sign it by another CS who is different from the internal CS, correct? Please pay attention, I am revising it for you guys. Then coming to notice of the meeting. Notice of the meeting is where I am holding a meeting, I have to send out a notice. I have to give a 21 days clear notice. What is clear notice? The date on which I am sending the notice and the date of the meeting is to be excluded, and the beach ka days has to be 21 days. So I have to give a 21 days clear notice. If I want to reduce the time frame, I can do that, provided 95% of the person who are holding share capital or voting power, they agree to a shorter notice. Then in that case, I will send out a shorter notice. What are the details it will give? Details about where the meeting is to be held, what is the agenda, the time, place, everything will be mentioned in the notice. It has to be given to members, auditors, directors, then legal representative of deceased member, and for insolvent member to the assignee, correct? Then explanatory statement. I will need to give an explanatory statement along with a notice if there is a special business which is being transacted. Special business is that business which is not ordinary business, which means ordinary business is when you are declaring dividend, or you are discussing financial statements, or appointment remuneration of directors, appointment remuneration of auditors. If I am discussing anything apart from these four things, then it is special business, and in special business I will have to give a explanatory statement. Then coming to quorum. Quorum is basically the number of members who have to be present at the meeting. In case of a private company, 2 members required. In case of public company, less than 1,000, 5,000 to 5,015, more than 5,030. So these are the number of members who have to be present at the meeting. Depending on what kind of company I am and how many members I have, it will depend on that. The quorum has to be present. Quorum has to be present within half an hour from the time the meeting has started. If the members are not present, then the meeting will be adjourned in the next week, same place, day, time. By giving them a 3 days notice, it will be adjourned. But if this is a meeting which is called by requisitionist, then it cannot be adjourned. It has to be held on the date on which it is planned. Otherwise, it will stand cancelled. And the members have to be personally present. Okay? Then coming to the chairman of the meeting. Chairman of the meeting is the person who is ensuring that the decorum of the meeting is maintained, the minutes of the meetings are maintained, and resolutions are passed properly. And chairman is not required in case of private company, provided they have not defaulted in filing financial statements or annual return. Then coming to proxy. When I have to vote at the meeting and I am not able to go for the meeting, then in that case I will appoint a proxy. If I am appointing a proxy, he can be a proxy for a total of 50 members at a time, provided their aggregate shareholding is less than 10%. If he is holding for someone whose shareholding is 10%, then he cannot be a proxy for any other member. If I am appointing a proxy, I have to intimate to the company within 48 hours before the meeting, and proxy register is available for inspection provided 3 days notice is given, and you can inspect it 24 hours before the meeting or during the meeting of the company, correct? A proxy can go and attend the meeting, he can vote at the meeting provided the members have not already cast the vote, but he cannot talk at the meeting, he cannot discuss anything. If the member has already cast his vote online, then the proxy will just go and sit at the meeting, have nashta, tea and come back, correct? ऐसा मत लिखना. Then voting. Voting में क्या क्या है? By show of hands, electronic means, postal ballot and by poll. Now show of hands, where members will show hands and the meeting will happen, people will count कितना है, insolvent member होगा, even then he is a member and he can vote at the meeting. Then voting by electronic means. Electronic means is where the company will put it up on the website of the company, and the voting will happen before the meeting also and during the meeting also. But because it's complicated, you will have to appoint a scrutinizer. Scrutinizer is a person who will, after the meeting has ended, first count the votes which have happened at the meeting, then he will count the vote which has happened online, and this will be done in presence of at least 2 witnesses. He will count everything, then he will make a report he will submit to the chairman, but he will not give the details about who has voted for what, that is a secret. Once the chairman has signed and submitted the meetings, he will give all the backup data to the chairman. Then by poll कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, same poll किया, or manual poll where there is a box which he will seal in front of the members will put their poll, sign, and then they will give it back, seal it and give it to the scrutinizer will open it in front of 2 witnesses. He will be given specimen signatures of all the members, he will see who has voted and who has not voted, what is the vote given, invalid votes will be removed, then he will count, again he will give a report to the chairman will see it and then he will sign it, and then once he has signed, then he will get all the data. Last is by postal ballot. Postal ballot is on very important matters which are to be discussed, and in that case the members can also vote by way of post or by electronic means. What are the matters which can be discussed? Even here in postal ballot we will have a scrutinizer, chairman will maintain the minutes, all the same provisions are there. What are the matters which are discussed by postal ballot? Alteration of articles, object clause of memorandum of association, change in my registered office, then 3rd chapter prospectus, change in the objects of the prospectus, then 4th chapter issue of shares with differential voting rights, he can do buyback of shares, again something is in the 4th chapter, variation in right again in the 4th chapter. Then coming to 5th chapter, deposit he will, if there is deposits are accepted in more than what is the specified limit, then in that case again postal ballot is required. And 2 points which are not there this year is election of director under section 151 and sale of whole or substantially the whole of your undertaking. These are the 2 points which we are not studying this year, which has to be added. So if these are the matters to be discussed, then postal ballot is essential and it has to be sent within 30 days from the date the notice has been sent. Only then it is a valid postal ballot. Once the results are out, again it will be declared on the website of the company, on the website of the agency of the scrutinizer, and if you are a listed company, on the website of the stock exchange, correct? Then coming to resolutions, ordinary, special. Ordinary 50%, special resolution 75% is required. If my resolution that I am passing is going to be a special resolution, my notice will specify that special resolution is to be passed. If what I am discussing is a special business, I have to attach my explanatory statement along with the special resolution notice that I am sending. Then if it is the date on which the meeting is conducted, even though the result of the resolution is out later on for voting by electronic means or poll, if the meeting is conducted today, bhale result kal aata hai, the meeting is conducted today, so the date of resolution will be today, but for adjourned meeting, the date on which the adjourned meeting happens will be the date on which the resolution is passed. All the resolutions has to be filed with ROC within 30 days of passing of the resolution. There are some cases where a special notice is required. There are 4 instances. What are the 4? Retiring director, not appointing him again, retiring auditor, not appointing him again, removal of the auditor, and before expiry, and appointing auditor other than the retiring auditor. If there are these 4 scenarios, in that case we will need a special notice. Again, special notice can be demanded by members, jaise requisitionist tha, same provision, but here they have to send a notice not earlier than 3 months but at least 14 days before the meeting, and the rest of the provisions will be the same. Last part is coming to minutes of the meeting. Minutes of the meeting is basically keeping a record of everything that has happened at the meeting. Here minutes has to be maintained for each kind of shareholder, debenture holder, preference share, हर एक का अलग अलग register होगा. This register has to be consecutively numbered and it has to be signed by the chairman. If it is a board meeting, it can be signed by the chairman of the same meeting or chairman of the subsequent meeting. If it's a general meeting, it has to be signed by the chairman of the same meeting. If he is not available for any reason, then it can be signed by any person who is authorized by the board, and it has to be reserved permanently. It can never ever be destroyed. coming to the next part is that the minutes that are to be given in the minute book has to be maintained by the chairman. So he has the sole discretion to decide what will be a part of the minutes and what will not be the part of the minutes, correct? Now when he is making the minutes, he can remove three things. What are the three things? Defamatory statement, irrelevant information, or anything which is detrimental to the interest of the company. I have done some gafla, but I know, I've discussed it with the members, but I don't want it to be a public information. It is detrimental to my interest. If such information goes out, then I can remove those particular things from the minutes of the meeting. And if I am a listed company with more than 1000 members and I have to maintain it in the electronic form, if I am maintaining the minutes book in the electronic form, then it has to be kept in the custody of the MD or CS or any director or officer who is authorized by the board. If I am not a listed company, then the CS or officer authorized by the board is the person who will keep the minute book with him. And this is available for inspection to any members or non-members. Fees of ₹10 will be charged. Once they request, then within 7 days I have to give them the minutes book, and if they have requested in soft copy, then I will have to give it to them for free. Okay, so this is the end of the entire chapter. Very important chapter. I will try and send the voice notes today itself so that you all can start revising. Most probably the test will be next Tuesday, but I will check with Ankush and then confirm. Thank you. Yes.